Well, here we are, the next day or so. I'm going to cover that front of my little homemade composition notebook cover and proceed. Here you'll see me measuring twice and cutting once, or yeah, there we go. Measure again. I just wanted to be able to cover up the advertisement with some scrap paper there. It's that thin type of scrap paper, so this is me just being very precise. Not really. Just enough to get it covered and make it look like something. Hey, if you're watching on TV, YouTube on TV, I do that. I have a streaming service. You can now scan the QR code and follow and subscribe. Okay, back to our channel. Anyway, I'm going to use school glue to glue this cover on. Once again, I went out and I forgot to get more tacky glue, so here we are. I'm probably going to have to end up ordering it because I always forget things that I need when I'm, on my grocery run. So just for the fun of it, I'm putting back to school on the cover for now. I'll probably change it later, but I just wanted to be silly. And there's my scissors, my little school scissors or craft scissors for kids that I get at the thrift store for 50 cents. And so far they've been working out pretty good for decorative edges. There, I'm going to put my name on my notebook. So no one will take my notebook. Yeah, now comes the fun part. Oh God, I'm going to have to sew in these signatures because I couldn't think of any other way to get them in there. Because the pages are bigger than the notebook cover. So yeah, that was, of course, make more challenging things for me to do. So I'm going to make a strip of this, it's a heavier type of cardstock. I'm going to make this strip and sew the signatures to that strip. And it's time to perform some surgery. So here's my little surgical kit. I've got my awl there with my little monk. I had a little plastic tip that went on the end of my awl, and I had that little clear plastic tip for years. And I always, was scared I was going to lose it as I was sewing in signatures and, punching the hole with the awl. Didn't lose it, but one day I just rammed the tip of the awl through the plastic on the side. So then after that, I couldn't use it to cover the tip of the sharp end. So one day I was out thrifting and I thought, I just need a cork. I don't need a bag of corks. I just need a cork. And I found this little guy and I thought, well, that's whimsical and I don't think I'll lose him very quickly. So now he covers the sharp edge. Here's me struggling again. Now, I make these things and I go, hey, this is going to be great. And then the execution is just, nerve-wracking. Yeah, that's it. So now you are required to sit here and watch me struggle to sew 3 signatures onto this little piece of paper. I am sure there is some better way to do this. I am sure that, it didn't come to me while I was doing this. So if you know an easier way to sew 3 signatures onto a tiny strip of paper, leave a comment. I don't know. I just needed to get it done. Of course, you always say that. Well, I just need to get this done so I can go on to the next thing. I just need to get this done. So I am trying now to just make sure that I don't go through my hand, or I just need to go through that. I don't know. Maybe when I got it on the outside, maybe I should have paper clipped it, but it's so thin. I'm not even sure that would have worked. I'm going from the outside to the inside so that my strings can be tied on the outside of the strip of paper, and then I'm going to glue that to the cover. So my thought was it'll be a secure signature and I won't have to worry about strings and, just cover it into the spine of the book. I thought about really just editing this down to, a ta-da and it's done. No, I'm going to show you the struggle. The struggle is so real. I am in several groups on Facebook, and one of the things that I read a lot is the struggle to sew in signatures that are tight and not wobbly. And I like to avoid sewing in signatures. It's just such a trying to find that hole again, even in paper. I've sewn in signatures in fabric to paper, and the fabric will heal itself before I can get in there again with the needle to find the hole for the papers. It's just the struggle is just, for a lot of us, is just so real. It's just so real. And this was just, I just like, oh my, what have I done? I can't, this thing is flipping around, and how am I going to make this tight? And I don't know. I just, what I do there is just sort of garrote it so that it's a bit tighter. At least I think it is. Feels like it is. That's the first one. So on then to the last signature. That seems okay. Things are going okay, So this is the back signature, or the last signature in the journal. And at this point, I don't even care if the holes are in the same, all that kind of precision stuff that I worry about if the signature is coming out to the outside of the spine. I wasn't going to worry about that. I was just going to get the stupid thing in there. So here we go again with the floating I don't know. What do you call that thing? The cover for the signature. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm just like, oh, this was such a fun idea, and now look at this. I can't even. How am I going to get? Look at the little teeny tiny area that I have to sew that in, and then I'm thinking, oh great. So I should have just done maybe just 2 signatures, or maybe just 1 signature, and call it good. But no, I got greedy and I just, I'm just going to have 3 signatures. Why not? Let's go big, in the tiny book. So here I am trying to find that hole again, trying to get that in there, trying to poke those holes in that tiny strip of black paper and not tear it for another thing. Oh man, I'm telling you, it was like, I wasn't going to start crying, but I really felt like throwing the thing across the room. And maybe I should have. Well, now I've got the 2 signatures in. They seem pretty tight. Although that last signature, well, you'll see what happens in a moment. Here's the front signature, and that cover there turns out to be the exact size of that little strip of paper. It's the same length. I hadn't cut it down or anything. So now I have to worry about getting this in edge to edge and not going over the edge, because that paper, that little strip of paper, is also the exact length of the spine of the journal, or the cover, I mean. So I don't want to go over the edge of the cover. Yeah, it's just nerve-wracking. And tie a couple more knots, and oh, it's tight, not too bad. So there we are. I actually have 3 now. That back one somehow got loose. and it's a bit wobbly. But I thought that the glue would tighten it up a bit. So I'm going to use tacky glue. I probably should have used the Fabri-Tac, because it is a stronger glue. I don't know. I hate the smell of that stuff, and it bubbles up if I don't get the cap on immediately, and I don't know. I don't know. I grabbed the tacky glue. So mistake number, 67 at this point. I don't know. But, there were so many times during the construction of this thing that I thought, well, this is a bad idea. Just go to Staples and get a 50-cent, composition notebook and just do it that way, But I, persevered. 24 hours later, I let the whole thing just sat for 24 hours and maybe a little longer, just, letting it think about what it's done. And look at that, a wiggle. It is not secure. It is just wiggling. That is my problem child, the last child there on the end, just giving me problems. So one of the tips that I've come across through the years is if you put extra paper there at the spot, at the signature, that it could help to tighten it. No, not this time. No, that's not going to work. And I just keep adding little pieces of paper, just, oh my God. And it's stuck in there now. Yeah, so here is the Fabri-Tac. So I figure, well, it's already, I can't fix it. I can't take it out because it's in there. So I take the Fabri-Tac and, look at me all like one-handed there, one-handed bandit. And here I am. I'll just be here holding this. See you later.